Hey, what's up, guys? It's Limo here. Welcome back to the channel, man. And we are back once again with a commentary video. And we have a lot to talk about for Call of Duty Next and Black Ops 7 because I'm not gonna lie, there's been a ton of drama with Call of Duty Next for this year for Black Ops 7. And as you guys can see, we're on a new webcam. I just couldn't handle it, man. The webcam that I've been running for the last like couple months is finally starting to brick and all that stuff. And I just can't handle trying to troubleshoot it and fix it. So I apologize if the quality is a lot weirder than usual, the coloring's off. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about for Call of Duty Next because if you guys have not been keeping up on Twitter, a lot of Call of Duty content creators and streamers and viewers of those creators and streamers are actually very mad about who got invited onto Call of Duty Next. And basically, a lot of the people that are complaining about who got invited are either jealous, confused, and or mad for some of the creators that were invited, thinking that like, yo, the creators that got invited are either not that big enough, not that well known, or they're not that good of a Call of Duty player to actually get invited to it, which is an absolutely insane thing to say, especially on the internet, especially if you're a content creator and streamer. Because I'm not gonna lie, like, dude, at this point, because I'm in, you know, my new major and I'm actually having a job with content creation outside of like by myself and like I'm in a professional setting, the things that people are saying are actually wild to say when they're trying to get invited to Activision, to Call of Duty Next, and work with Call of Duty. Because if I was them and I was actually trying to work with Activision and work with other creators that are connected with Call of Duty, I would not be saying some of these things that these creators, streamers, and their communities are saying about other creators. But all in all, just to summarize the entire drama, this guy's a bot, and I just died him. But to literally summarize all the drama, right? On my notes, I have it right here. There's a lot of Call of Duty creators and streamers that were not invited that are mad about who got invited and why they got invited. And most of the creators that are responding and publicly saying shit about creators that got invited, they are responding in the worst way possible when it comes to not being invited to Call of Duty Next for Black Ops 7. And I'm talking about one of the worst ways possible ever, bro. I got aimbot right there. The best way I could summarize people not getting invited to COD Next is so simple. It's literally like, yo, you don't deserve it. Why this creator be invited but not me? Etc, etc. Shit like that. And I feel like the best sentiment that I could give to any creator that was trying to get invited, that's been grinding their ass off, is this: keep grinding, keep posting content, and like, if you care that much to get invited to Call of Duty and to go to Call of Duty Next and network like that, then maybe, just maybe, don't publicly shit on people that Activision's working with and like shit on them for being invited and you not being invited. It makes zero sense to send negativity towards the creator or the streamer, especially if you're a content creator or streamer yourself and you're upset for not getting invited. I feel like that's one of, if not the worst things to do when it comes to these situations. Because if you want to eventually work with the team and the game and all that stuff, why are you sending hate to people that they want to work with? You know, you're just creating and burning a bridge that could possibly help you in the future to get invited next time. Because T-Dog Smitty, who surprisingly did not get invited, is getting a lot of help from creators that he's friends with or knows really well, and those creators that were invited are trying to get him invited in return, because he's a perfect example of somebody, a creator and streamer, that didn't send hate or didn't have any of his fans send hate for him, and he's just happy for other people getting the opportunity to go to COD Next. And it's also to see that T-Dog Smitty, with the kind of content that he makes, actually have connections that can help him, you know, work with Call of Duty in some sort of fashion or some sort of way like that, even if he didn't get invited himself. And I okay. And I totally understand why viewers, like people that are not content creators or streamers, like viewers of the communities, right, are hating on people that are getting invited and calling them shells. I totally understand that, right? But when you're a content creator and streamer yourself, why are you publicly tweeting or publicly ranting or hating on other content creators and streamers, right? Especially if you're trying to get invited to the event. If you're like someone like Rick, Foley, or me who talks about other creators sometimes in their videos, you don't give a fuck if you get invited or not. But if you're a creator, right, that makes Call of Duty content that's not based off of, you know, exposing people or talking negatively about the game, why are you trying to shit on other people, man? Especially people that are working with Activision now and that have close ties with Activision or have good connections with Activision. It's just like a double whammy. First, you don't get invited, and then you burn all your bridges to actually potentially get invited next year. Like, I genuinely think that the best thing people can do that want to get invited next year is to be positive about it and not send hate or negativity towards other creators. Because, like, dude, if you want to go to a Call of Duty Next event and reach that, you know, level of networking connections and being that kind of creator that works with the game that you post videos for or post videos about, then maybe don't fucking hate on creators that got invited because you didn't get invited. It makes zero sense to do that. Like, to any streamer or creator that potentially wanted to go to Call of Duty next year or have a future connection with Activision, they're literally burning everything and any sort of bridge or way for them to actually work with Activision by shitting on other creators publicly. Unless, like, your content's based like that, go ahead. You shouldn't really care. But if you're a content creator that doesn't do that and does, like, gameplay videos, 2-boxing videos, right, funny ass videos like Timmy Toucan, etc, etc, then why the hell are you trying to shit on other people, man? You're literally burning and ruining an opportunity that you could potentially have next year. Makes zero sense. But honestly, I think it's best to read some of the replies because I gotta show you guys the kind of hate most people are getting. This tweet from Legend 6K, who was a part of Swag sleepover stream for Black Ops 7's reveal. He tweeted out this. He says, attacking other creators for being invited to Call of Duty Next is the most miserable shit I've ever seen. Be happy for people. And that's so facts. Even though I don't know this guy at all, I totally agree with him on that point where, like, if you're trying to be invited to Call of Duty Next, why are you sending hate to other creators? Just be happy, be positive, and keep grinding and keep going. And if you think I'm lying about creators and streamers that want to be invited to Call of Duty Next shitting on other creators, look at this tweet right here from Cross to Crown, who says this. There are people who deserve to be at Call of Duty Next that aren't invited, while people with 50 followers on TikTok and Twitch get an invite. I'm not even trying to say I'm one of those deserving, but it's just crazy to give away opportunities to people who genuinely don't deserve it. Yo, listen, even though he's not talking about himself, like saying that he needs to be invited, it's just more about the fact that, like, yo, why are you publicly tweeting this, dude? Like, I don't understand it. Like, obviously, this guy's in Team Zen, right? Zen GG's. It's a Call of Duty content, you know, team and all that stuff. It's an esports team. But, like, why are you trying to shit on people and call out Call of Duty like this when, like, it sounds like you want to be invited? You know, even though you say you don't, it sounds like where you're coming from is like, dude, you're jealous of other people getting the opportunity, and you're jealous of people that you think don't deserve the opportunity. But those are the kind of tweets that we're seeing from a lot of Call of Duty content creators and streamers, big or small, known or not known. Popular ones and not popular ones are tweeting stuff like this. And it's really bad because at the end of the day, right, I'd rather see people hate on the billion-dollar company than a content creator or streamer that's not big or not known. Another tweet that I'm going to read is right here. This guy named Ghost Knight said this. Congrats to everyone going to Call of Duty Next with the SpongeBob meme, with Squidward sitting inside and SpongeBob and Patrick running around going crazy. But some guy said, I mean, didn't you take legal action against them a year ago? I'm sure they blacklisted you because of it. Oh, God. And this Ghost guy, apparently, a lot of people are mad that he's not invited as well. But dude, if he sued Activision and, you know, Call of Duty and Microsoft, who the fuck in the right mind thinks that he's gonna get invited to Call of Duty Next? And obviously with that meme, it's supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be joking, but like, dude, at the end of the day, if you're like Ghost Knight, who I'm assuming makes Call of Duty content, looks like he does, he's partnered with BR Paradox PCs, Battle Beaver, right, which are primarily within the Call of Duty community. I would imagine he makes Call of Duty content and he is jealous at some degree to not get invited to Call of Duty Next. But I just don't understand how you expect to get invited when you literally have legal action against them. It makes zero sense. And then another one from Swifter, who did get invited to Call of Duty Next. Somebody said, Buddy doesn't even play Call of Duty anymore and got invited. Guys, I understand from the viewer standpoint, you know, you don't really care, you're not really representing anybody, but still, some guy like Lappers, who is a huge fan of other Call of Duty content creators and streamers, and I'm pretty sure he's really tight with some of them. Why are you publicly hating on people that are getting invited, dude? Especially on Swifter, who's an OG Call of Duty content creator. The next tweet I want to go over is from Cammy, who is a really popular Twitch streamer, and I'm pretty sure throughout this past summer, he was the most subscribed Twitch Call of Duty creator and streamer. So he had the most amount of Twitch subs from the Call of Duty community, which is actually insane. But he tweeted out this: what a man gotta do for an invite to COD Next, bruh. About to throw my ass on a lap if that's what it takes. And that's so hilarious. But dude, I obviously feel bad for Cammy, and a lot of people that are replying are saying like, yo, keep your head up, keep grinding. But dude, some of these people are saying like, yo, it's a DEI invite, you don't meet the demographic or quotas, and you're not a yes man. Some guy said 20k subs and they don't invite you, and they also didn't invite Knight. It is cooked. Somebody said that you gotta be an Activision Glazer. It's so bad, dude. If you want to be invited to these events, if you create content that's not shitting on Call of Duty, criticizing Call of Duty with every single video, or you're not exposing other creators, why are you publicly going on the internet and shitting on other creators and streamers that did get invited and saying that they don't deserve it? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that, like, yo, if you care about Call of Duty Next like that and being, you know, connected and networking and having a connection to Activision and Call of Duty in a game that you create content on, why are you ruining your opportunity, burning your bridges so quickly by shitting and harassing and being negative towards creators that got invited just because you didn't get invited, or you think that they don't deserve it? Like, it just makes zero sense to do that if you care about Call of Duty Next that much. And all in all, I think the best tweet that I've seen about this entire reaction from the Call of Duty creators being mad and angry at other ones that got invited is from Rara, who tweeted out this. He says this: don't feel hurt you didn't get a Call of Duty Next invite over other content creators, that's in quotes by the way, who don't make any content. They are just filling demographics or finding squeaky clean yes men that won't give pushback. Minus a few expectations, of course, but those creators actually get views. And that's so true, man. If you really want to get invited to Call of Duty Next, you're making your situation 100 times worse, and your opportunities to get invited to next year's Call of Duty Next worse if you're shitting on or complaining about not getting invited. I think T-Doc Smitty also had a great reply, basically saying that, like, yo, if you care this much about Call of Duty Next, Sit down, grind, because no matter what, you never know what person at Activision who actually has the right and the say to invite you or not is watching. So just keep posting and keep grinding. Don't complain online or make videos complaining about it unless you're fine with the consequences. Like for me personally, people like Rick, Foley, Blame Truth, we all knew coming into the content that we make, we were never going to get invited to Call of Duty Next. And that's why creators like us don't complain about it at all, because we knew the consequences of the content that we make and what would happen if we do make this kind of content. And even if we switch away from it, it's never going to change the fact that we made those videos calling out Call of Duty creators, Call of Duty partners, or Call of Duty and Activision. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ending off the video here. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of all this Call of Duty Next drama. Do you care about Call of Duty Next at all, or who gets invited or who didn't get invited? Let me know in the comments below because I would love to hear it. But it's been your boy Limbo. I'll see you guys later. Peace.